Okay, and welcome back to another class of Android, where we are doing our Android app for e-commerce. We're going to resume from where we stopped at in the previous video. And remember, in the previous video we worked on the sign up activity, but did not accomplish it. We finished in a way whereby we wanted to check if the user is logged in, and if he's not logged in, so the thing is that we want to check if the user is already logged in, we should return the user back. Of course, you cannot create an account while you are already logged in. So that's the point that we are using. I mean that we are at. That's where we are right now. So if I take you back to where we stopped on the sign up, we stopped at this point where, like, when you click on when you create the account, when you just open the sign up, we'll call this method of get logged in user, and this method was just putting the things in the console, the number of users that has been found, and put these users in a console. That's what we were doing in the previous video. So, and remember, using the sugar ORM DB. So we're just using this try and catch and say users model, a list of users model is equal to users is equal to user model, the class dot list all, and then you pass user model dot class. So here we're just putting the number of the user who are found, and then we put in the console. To make sure that this thing is working, what you're going to do, you're going to put the name of the user who is found in the console. So what you're going to do right now, I'm just going to go here and just pass here 0 dot what dot first name. Why is it not resolving? Users dot what? Like this, supposed to be like this, right? Why is not resolving? Let me see. Oh, we're supposed to put dot get, sorry. Dot get, and then pass 0 dot first name. Okay, so I'm going to put the first user here. I'm going to put his name in the console, in case that user is found in a database. So that will give us more confidence to see that this database is working, and we've got something from the database. So I'll click on console log and run the application. Okay, so that is the application. Let me try to enlarge it so you can see clearly. So when I click on sign up, it's going to call the get logged in user. So can you see it found what? It found Joan, and this is the user that we created, of course. So this can give us confidence that the user was found. So this method, we can use it just to get if the user is logged in or not logged in. Okay, so here we are going to change the return to become the model of the user. Here, instead of making it void, we are going to make it user model. So here, in case of returning, instead of returning, in case the user is null, I'm going to return return null. Okay, so in case the user was not found, or in case the users were empty, we return null. And likewise here, we'll just return return null in case it failed to do return a user. So we'll turn the user only in only in the one scenario. Okay, here also by default this function will do will return null. So we'll turn the user only in one scenario. We will return the user only in one scenario, when this user is not empty and is not null. So I'll check if After checking that here if it is null, I return nothing. I'll check here if it is what? That is empty, I'll return still nothing. Okay, so if it is not empty, I'll have to return what? I'll return using the first position, which is going to be return users dot get 0. So I'll have returned the user in the what? In the first position. So you can look at this method. Okay, you can look at this method slowly. Okay, can look at that method. So it will be getting us the user who is logged in. If the user is not logged in, it will return to us null. So I'm going to put this method in utility function so that we can reuse it anywhere. Okay, I'm going to put it somewhere so we can use it anywhere in the utility functions. So I'm going to cut this method because we will need it multiple times. So I'll go to cut it. Okay, and then I'll come to where? To log cut, I mean to our project, and I'll create a class that I'll put the functions that we'll be using in different sections of their project. Okay, I think I already have these classes. Okay, or I can create it right now. I can call it utility, or I can call it anything, so that I put there the function that I'll be using in anywhere in the what. For example, this function of getting the user who is logged in, I'll need it multiple times, so I have to create a helper function, others call it utility, or anything that I can reuse it again. Okay, so I'm going to create that class here. I'm going to put that class here. So I'll just see, I can right click here and I say new package. I can call it tools. Okay, just right click here and say new and come and say package. Oh, why is it doing like this? Right click on the name of the main package, right click new main package. I'm going to call it maybe tools, I can call it utility, I can call it helper, I can call it anything. Then this package I'm going to put what? The class that I'll be using. I'll put multiple functions that I can reuse again and again. So I'm going to call it here utils. Okay, utilities, we call it utilities, or you can call it utils like this. Okay, so it's going to be a class that I'll put all the functions that I can use anytime that I want. So the first one that I want to put there is the function that can get for us a default user who is logged in. So I'll paste this function here. I already created it. Okay, so it's going to be, let me collapse this one so I can see clearly. Okay, this function is going to be get logged in user, and I'm going to make it public so that I can reuse it in other project. Okay, so I just simply come and say it is public function, and I'll make it static and final, so we can use it even though we don't create a special occurrence. We don't create the occurrence of this utility. So you can say utils dot get public user, then we can read this function in anywhere. So I make it public and static and final, so it will be returning the user model. It will return either null or the user model. So remove this tag and remove this tag. So that's our function. It is straightforward and you can see it. Okay, hope you can see it. Let me reduce on the font a little bit. So because the font was too huge, so you couldn't see the whole function. So that is the function, you can look at it. Okay, so I can reuse this function again and again. So if I come here on create, this is the sign up, right? So all what I need, I just press alt and enter. It will do what? It will get for me this function from where? From utils. Okay, it will get for me from the utils. So here I can just say user model, or I can say logged in user. So I can create here a public object called logged in user. Okay, logged in user is equal to null. So by default, okay, logged in user is equal to null. Okay, so here after binding view, I can get this logged in user at this point is equal to get logged in user. Okay, or you can as well say utils dot get logged in user. That's another way I can do it. You can access it. So here it will after this it will either be null or what, or the user. So I'll check if this is equal to null, then we make a toast and say you are what, you are not logged in. The else part will be you are logged in. Okay, you are logged in. Okay, so let us run this and we see if we will see that the user is logged in or not. So if it is null, we will know that the user is not logged in. If it's not null, then we'll know the user that what is logged in. So you can even specify to tell the user the name who is logged in. So let us run the application and we see can you see sign up, you are what, you are logged in. It's so fast, but we can see sign up, you are logged in, and the name is shown. Okay, the last name. So here this function is working perfectly. So if it is null, if it's not, here for us to just check if it is not equal to null, then you can just say you are what, you are logged in. And of course if you're not logged in, you're not what, you're not supposed to access this registration method. Okay, registration what, registration form. So I'll just finish here, I'll just return you back. Okay, and I'll not allow you to go ahead beyond this part in case you're what, you are logged in, you see. So but I'll not do this right now. I'll do it later after I've finished the logic of what, of this sign up. Okay, but that's how we can do that. So let's go ahead and finish the logic of sign up. So if you watch the previous video, when there is a submit button, we put here login the user. Okay, and we have seen this login the user is working properly. This method is working properly. So we need to remove it from here and now put it where, and put it in its right place. Okay, where is the right place is where is after the user has successfully done what, after the user has successfully created the account. Here after the user has successfully created the account, then we'll call login the user, and we've seen it works perfectly. So in this login the user, we have to remove some few things. We have to remove this garbage, the toast. I have logging in the user. I have to remove this ID because this ID is engineered. We are the one who are making it. So I have to remove this ID and have to remove the what, the registration number. So that is the logging the user that we're doing, what, that we're going to say. So here we're logging the user. We can make it to be what, to be returning either true or false. So if it successfully logging the user, it will turn true. If it fails, it should return what, it should return false. So you can put here that to return what, to return boolean. So here if it successfully login the user, of course it will have to run this part, if in case it successfully return the user. So you can put return here true. Okay, if it fails, then to of course run the what, the exception part, and I'll return what, return false, like this. So this function is now having state. We can either know whether it successfully logged in the user or it failed. Fatima, are you getting me? Fatima, are you getting me? So I'm going to check here this login user. I'm going to check if it is true or false. So if it is true, I can create a toast that your account was logged in successfully, and if it is failed, I'll create a toast that it failed to do what? To log in your account. So here I'll just put if, since now it is having the state, I say if login the user. Okay, I'll just simply say toast and put your account, I can say your account was logged in successfully. Okay, so and else part, okay, so here I can say failed to log in your account. Okay, so if you fail to log in the account, I'll leave here in the registration form. Okay, if it failed to log in the account, I'll leave you in the registration form. If it successfully log in the account, I'll redirect the user maybe back to the main home. Okay, I'll redirect the user, or I'll start the activity for the main home. So to do that, I'll just simply say intent is equal to new intent, and here I'll pass the context, which is equal to sign up activity.this, and then after we pass the what, we pass the activity that we want to open, which is going to be main home activity dot what dot class. Okay, and then after we start the intent. Members, I hope you're understanding.
Yes.
Very good. So I just say intent.1.start activity, and I pass the intent. Okay, and then I make sure I don't go beyond here. I return. So I make sure that I have closed these dialog boxes, and I will do this only when there is a successful login of this user. So after doing that, one more thing here, I'm going to show you the problem. Let us go ahead and run this application. So the application has finished running. So how we're going to do what? To sign up. So I'll click on sign up, and click on sign up using the same information. So I should expect a user the same email already what? Already exist. Use the same email already exist. Let me make some changes with email. And then click on what? On sign up. Your account was created successfully. Again, your account was logged in successfully. Are we together? I want to show you something. Are we together so far? Members, are we together? Are you following? So I don't know whether you're really following, but here the point is it has successfully created the account, has successfully logged in. But the problem is, see, if I click back, what will happen? The same sign up form does what? It shows up something that we don't want. In case you sign up and you created your account, everything in history is supposed to be deleted, so that in case even if you click back, you should go back. You should go where? To the what? To the home menu, okay, or to the main home. That is the thing. We are not supposed to access these things again. But you see, when the user clicks back, we again get this previous history where the user has already created the account. So again, he can possibly temper to do what? To create the account. So I want us here, when we are starting this activity, I want us to do what? To delete all the previous history of our activity. So that when the user clicks back, he just go back to the either to main home, or we quit the what? The application. He's not supposed to access the sign up form 2 times. So to do that, there is there is something that we add, a flag that we add, and that flag will delete all the previous history. So I can just search it, delete previous activity history 100. So there is a flag that you have to add there. You see, you have to add this flag, right? You have to add this, okay? Intent.set flag, flag activity new task, or flag activity clear, one of these, okay? That's how you do it. So you have to copy this piece of code and put it here. So before you start this intent, I want to clear the whole the whole history. So to do it, we just, this intent that you're going to start, you say set flags and put intent.flag new task, and you put this or intent.flag clear tasks. So this one, it will delete everything that we had in history. So even if the user clicks back, he cannot access the the main home. So let us open the project again and log in and create the account, and you'll see what I'm meaning. So I'll click here on sign up, and I'm going to create another account here with 2, and then I'll go ahead and click on sign up. So it will process. The account was created successfully, and I was logged in successfully. I can say not now. Okay, now let me try to click back. You see, members, if I click back, can you see the activity, the project will end, because that's what the next thing. So what does it mean? It means that it deleted the entire history, and the project started afresh, because I'm not supposed to access I'm not supposed to access this sign up form. So, and how do we do that? We do it from here. We just add this these set flags, as you can see here. I hope you've got the point. Okay, I hope you've got the point. So with that much said, then we proceed to another thing. Now here we're not allowed now to do what? We're not allowed to allow the user who is already logged in to access this form. So I'll come here to our main okay, on create, and I'm going to uncomment this one. And what does this uncomment does? We create here thus a user model of logged in user, and we equate it to what? To null by default. And then we get, using utils that we just created, we get the logged in user. Of course, if this user is not logged in, we'll get the null. Otherwise, if the user is logged in, we'll get what? The occurrence of that user. So I check if the user is not null, then I'll know that the user is already logged in. So I will not allow the user to access this form or this form of sign up if they're already logged in. That's why I make a toast, you are already logged in, and I return back to another activity by just simply calling the finish function and then return. So this one will send back the user from wherever they came from. Okay, so let me do this and you see what I mean. Now see, when I click on sign up, you can see the toast. You are what? You are already logged in. Why? Because I'm not supposed to access this page when I'm what? When I'm already logged in. That is wonderful. So let me summarize everything in just a minute, and I show you the path that we've taken to create this sign up form. So to create this sign up form, we created the what? The sign up activity, and we have here the context. On the create, we are just calling the bind views. In this bind views, we are doing a few things, whereby we are combining the objects of the views with the what? With the layouts, and we set the click listener for the sign up button. Like when someone clicks on this sign up button, we should call the validate data. I'll call validate date or validate data. Validate data method, okay?
You use date as a function as well.
Validate data like this, right?
Yes.
So this function will be called. So I will validate like user. I will check these things. I put my conditions here that I'll need to make sure that the user fulfills before they create the account. So after they fulfill them, I'll do the things that I'll collect the information that is not unnecessary, and then after doing that, I'll go ahead and do it and call the submit data. So in this submit data, it's where I'm going to put the logic of adding the data to our Firebase to our Firebase storage. To the Firebase database. So I create a progress dialog. You can see here, and I set this progress dialog to please wait, and then I set it not to be cancelable, because I don't want the user to tamper with this process when we are registering the user. And then I display this progress dialog. I say then I create this constant that I'll reuse in other parts of the project, which is going to store the name of our table of users. Then I try to check if this user is already existing on a database. So I use the .where equal to, and check the field of email is equal to the email that the user has provided, and I add on success listener as well as on the fail listener. On the fail listener, I say that the account failed to create, and I put the reason, I toast it, and then I do what? I hide the dialog and I dismiss the dialog. Okay, so in case it fails, I'll just tell the reason from the exception. So if it does not fail, I'll go ahead and now do the registration of the user. But remember, we had not got the user ID. Why? Because we had not made sure that this user is already existing. So you have to get the user ID from this point. After making sure that this user does not exist, we first check if this is empty, because if it does not bring empty, then you'll know that there's another user with the same with the same information. So I'll do what? I will go ahead and say user ID is equal to db collection dot the user ID is equal to db collection dot user table. I'm supposed to add here dot document like this, okay? Because a document, otherwise it will be getting me the ID for the for the possible tables, not for the possible document. I'm supposed to add the that document to get ID. So to get for me the ID that is unique, that cannot be reused, and then after I'll get the user registration date from these functions, okay, which is going to be a timestamp. After doing that, I'll go ahead and now register the user, which is using db collection, and I pass the user database name, and I pass the ID of this user, and I put dot set, and I pass the user name, okay, the user object, which is called new user, and I make it set here, and I add the listeners. So if it fails, I'll do the rest the same. I just chose that failed because of the exceptional reason, and then I dismiss the dialog and I hide and then dismiss the dialog. If it does not fail, I'll go ahead and do and log in now this user, okay. So I'll just toast that the account was created successfully. After making that simple toast, I'll hide the progress dialog and dismiss it. After dismissing it, I will now do I will call this function for logging in the user, okay, login user, and in this function, if it returns true, then I can say your user account was created successfully, and in case it turns false, I can say that there was something wrong when you're creating the account, and that will give the the reason, okay. So in case it is created successfully, what I will do, I will put the intent, and then I remove the whole history, so that the user should not be able to access this form in case they are already sign up successfully. So that's how, and I start the main activity. So that's how we have created this form for registration, okay. Okay, so now let us make the form for logging in. It's going to look much like this registration, and for it to be a little bit simpler, so I'm going to come here to the main activity and put the form for the login, okay. I'm going to call it open sign in, okay. So in this sign in, I'm going to create a class for sign in, sign in. So I'll come here to activity, right click on it, say new activity, empty activity. I'll call it sign in, and then say finish. Okay, it's done. Sign in, and then I'll come to the main activity and put here sign in for the function that will open this method when they click on sign in. So let's go ahead, press Alt and enter. Let's go ahead and put this sign in on click listener in the main activity. I'll duplicate this one. I'll call this what? Sign in. I'll call this method sign in like this. Okay, so this method will be called when I'm signing in the user. Okay, to open the sign in what? To open the sign in method. This is the main activity, right? I just want to open the sign in method. Okay, so let us first go and do some few things on sign in. So sign in method is going to look like much of sign up method. So sign up method, first of all, let me go to its layout and we see the things that we can copy from the sign up method. Okay, so I'll just copy the whole form and I'm going to modify it for sign in. Select all, copy, close, and I'll open sign in and I'll split, collapse this, Ctrl A, Ctrl V. So that is the sign in. Yes, please.
Why not you copy from where you copied the sign up first?
No, it's just the same. Why?
From the previous video.
Why?
That's straight away. That's straight away. It's straight away.
No. That is this is the best way, because if I do like that, then I'll have again to modify things. But here it is already the same packages, same information. I'm just going to remove unnecessary things here. It is simpler.
Okay.
So here I'm going to call it here sign in. Okay, I can just say we are so happy to have you back. That is can be for the sign in. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the first name. I'm not interested in it. This screen is too small. Let me put on a big screen. Can you still see?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll first remove this first name. I'm not interested in first name. I'm not interested in the last name. I'm interested only in the email and password. So I'll duplicate this. I'll remove this password I'm interested in. Okay, so I'll put here sign in like this. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. And then we start working the what with the logic. So if you want to remove that up bar, that top up bar, I think you can just simply come here, because it makes things look ugly. Can come to a project, come to values, resources, values. What are the themes? And we put here no action bar is there though. No action bar, app compat, no action bar. Yeah, I think that one remove the action bar. I hope. The problem is light dot no action bar, like this. This is the theme that we use. Theme material components dot light dot no action bar. Yeah. Theme components dot light dot no action bar. That's the one that we use. Okay. So let's go ahead and do what and put the binding of these two. So I can close. I can make this sign up and sign in to be nearby each other, because I'm going to use okay, I can just create new ones, no problem. Let me close others. Everything, I just only keep these two opened. So we're going to have the object of email and the object of what? Of password. That's going to be edit text. I'm going to call it maybe like mining views. Alt and enter to create it. So I'm just going to create here edit text. It's going to be the email view is equal to find view by id r.id dot email view, and then the password to be like that. Okay, so after doing that, we can create now the what? The sign in button object. It is going to be sign in button, and I'm going to connect it by simply saying like that. Okay, then I'll add the click listeners on the sign in button. And here I'm going to call it maybe sign in. Create this method here, right? So here I'm going to collect the user from what? From the user data from what? From the forms. I can, for example, I can say you have just string. I can say email value is equal to nothing by default, and then also password value is equal to nothing by default. Okay, so I'll go ahead and collect the email value by saying email value equals email view dot get text dot to string and after I'll get also the email value, the password value onto password value, password view. Okay, are we together?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll check if one of these is empty, if email value dot is empty, or password value dot is empty, I'll return, I'll toast. You must fill both fields, and at this point I do what? I return. So I'll not allow the other to go beyond there. You can add here the trim, to remove the white spaces. Okay, the user put a just empty space. Okay, so after here I can go ahead and now and display the what? The dialog box, and start doing the logic of getting this user from what? From database. So I'll just come here, the sign up already have these things, so can just use this dialog box like the one that you use in the sign up, and then come and put this thing of please wait, just same thing, just don't repeat myself, please wait, and I show, and then I come and get DB. So the DB is just going to be the one that you see here, Firebase. I'll just create here Firebase what? Firebase or currency, and then I say dot what? Dot collection, and then I call this what? User table model. User table. Remember, I said you should make here, you should make it public and static, so that you can reuse it again and again. That's why you see I'm able to do what? To access it at this point. So I'll go ahead and add the dot where, right? Because here I'm going to get using the email. So it's going to be just something like this one that we did before. Okay, dot where equal to, I'm going to add a query. Dot where equal to the email. I'm getting the user whose email is equal to the one that the user has just provided here, email value. Dot where equal to email equal to the email value, and then I add dot what? Add on add success listener, add dot get, and then you say dot add on success listener. It's going to be new on success listener like this, and then we add dot on fail add on fail listener. It's going to be new on fail listener. Okay, so here on fail we can give the reason why it failed, and I'll just simply come and paste here. Sign in activity dot this. Okay, failed to connect because of whatever. So the reason that comes with this exception, I'll put it here. Okay, so here it is in case when it returns. Okay, so here when it returns, I'll check for different scenarios. I check first of all if this is equal to null, but of course it will never be null. It will either be empty. Okay, I can just check if it is null to be on the other side. If is equal to null, then I'll know that the user was not found on database. Okay, toast, I can say email. Let me first create the context other than just doing this thing every time. It makes things to be too much. Okay, so I can just come and put here our context, and then come here on create here and initialize it. Content equal this. Okay, other than repeating ourselves every time. Okay, so pass here the context, can say user, okay, email not found on database, something like that. Okay, email not found on our database, and then I'll return. Okay, so I'll have to make sure that I close the what? I hide these dialog boxes. Okay, and make it long so that the user should see it clearly. Okay, so after that we go ahead and then check if it is empty. So the second thing, in case it is not, it is empty, dot is empty, then I can say still the email was not found, because it is empty, right? So if it's not empty, I'll have to now convert this one into a list of objects of the user model. Okay, so I can say now these users of user model, right? I can call them users equals. So after it has successfully passed these two levels, I'll go ahead and now convert this one into users dot objects. The snapshot, query snapshot dot objects, and I pass this user model dot class. Okay, so after, I'll get only the first user, the only one that I'm interested in. So what do I need to do here? I just need to check the password, right? So I check if dot get the user in position 0 dot password is not equal to the password value. Okay, no, just put here dot equals. Okay, password value. So I'll put not. You know, this Java has a way how I can compare strings using the equals. So I say if the password that was got from the database is not equal to the password value, then I'm going to say password did not match. Or I can say wrong password. Okay, I dismiss and say wrong password. Okay, and then I return. So if you pass all these levels, I'll just toast here now and say time to do what? Time to log in. I can say success, time to log you in. Okay, just for testing. Okay, so let us go ahead and do what? And run our project and see what we've got. There we are. So I click on sign in. So sign in, so the app bar is gone. Click on sign in. Email not found. So let's put this John 1. Click on sign in. Email not found. So let us see what could be the issue. Email not found on database. First of all, let us know which one is the issue exactly. Email. Okay, let us know, is it let us first put here the email itself, and let us know where the error is coming from, whether it is 1 or it is 2.
Lindo,
Yes, please.
can you share your screen? Oh, your screen is frozen.
You're not sharing. I'm not sharing my screen.
I can see your screen, but it's like it's frozen.
Since when? What could be the issue? So this is 2 and this is 1. So, and I here try to put the email itself. Okay. So I check if it's empty, check if it is null. So let's run and you see what could be the issue exactly. So sign in. Email not exist at 2. Okay. So let us go to our database and see if we really create an account with this same email. Okay, so let us first see the sign up. Sign up, the email. Is the email? Yeah, okay. Now let us go to the what? To the console and we see what could be the issue.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yeah, very early. See, email is there. We're having this user. Yeah. The email is not there. Yeah, the email is not there because we are not using. We are getting the user with the same what, with the same ID. So the email is not there, and you can see here the ID is null. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this account. Sign up. You're already logged in. Okay, so let me first disable this logic of checking if the user is logged in. Save. Let me run again. So sign up. and then click on sign up. Okay, let's go ahead and check. So we have now the user. You see the ID is not being set. We have user ID and ID. These are two different things. Why do you have ID and user ID? Wait. Yeah, but you can see here the ID at least is being set, but here user ID was not set. Okay, so we now have the email, the user with what? With this email exactly. We do not have the user with this email. Now let's go and try to sign in. So click on sign in. Now you can see time to do what? Time to log in. Success. But we did not hide the what? The dialogue. Okay, so everything is okay. So let's go ahead and sign in the user. So I can just use this same sign that we use here. Login. Okay. This method that we use to log in the user is the same that I'm going to use here. So I'll come here to the sign in. Here it's where I will call the what? The login user method. Let me paste it here. Here it's going to call login user. What it will take? It will take the model of login of the user object. Can call it U. Okay, so to just save this user and return true if it successfully saved it. Okay, so I'm going to come and copy this same logic that we use to login user here. Can you see? The same logic that I used to login user is what I'm going to put in the sign in user here. So I'll come here to the sign in. Can you see? Data collection after everything is successful. I'll have to put here the logic of what? Of logging in the user. Here. Okay. So it's going to be I hide the progress dialog, I dismiss it, and then I call login the user. But this login user of ours right now, it needs what? It needs a single object. Okay. It needs what? It needs a user object. Can you see? Because the user object is not. So it will check if it is true to return. So like this. Okay. So I'll have to pass here the single user, the first user that came from what? From the database. Okay. And then I will pass here the context. Okay, this is just a toast. It shouldn't confuse you. The toast that your account was logged in successfully. Okay, that's a toast. And after I start another intent that takes the user to the main home in case he successfully logged in. Okay, and I remove all the previous history so that the user should not be able to come back to this main what? To this login page. And then I pass again the context to start the what? To start the activity. Members, are we together? Are you getting the logic?
Yeah.
Huh? You understanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I do it, I'll get there.
Okay. So that's it. Then I have to come here and remove these things that are using for testing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So let's go ahead and run the project and see what we've got. So let's click on sign in. Let's enter a wrong email. Email what? Not found on database. Let us enter a wrong password but correct email. Wrong what? Wrong password. That is perfect. Let us enter everything correct. Your account was logged in successfully. That is very great. Okay, so now let's finish today's work by just putting here, like, you should not access the login page if you're already logged in. Okay, so that is just a simple thing that we did in the sign up form here. So I'm going to do what? To put this project here. I'm going to put this thing here. Time is up. So it's going to be user model. Okay, so in the very first place, so after logging in, before even buying the views, I'll first check, or I can even start after buying views. I check if this user is logged in. Okay, this is how I check. If the user is already logged in, I will not allow him to access the login the login page. Okay, I will not access the user to do what? To access this login page. So that's it for today. Well, in the next class, I'll show you how I will save this, how you can save this project on GitHub, and I will start saving these projects on GitHub so that you can be able to download this code, and I can be able to update this code anytime, and you can download it easily. And in case you get any problem, you can compare your project with my own project. That will be very, very helpful to you when you get lost by following the video. When you look at my own code, if you don't cheat yourself by copying and paste, that will be helpful to you, because you can look at my own code simply and compare with your own and get to know where I got what, where I got wrong, other than just following the video step by step, which is a little bit tiresome. I will show you also how to use what? Basics of GitHub. So that will be in the next class, inshallah. So for today's class, we have finished the login process of the user. So in the next class, we will now start presenting the products in a list, in categories, in sliders, and a single product. And if possible, if time will allow, we'll start working on the logic of the customer submitting the order in the next class, inshallah. Okay, thank you for being part of this class. Hope you're not missing the next class.